What's going on, family? It's Creative Angel, the Vibe King, and you are tapped in to another stolen conversation with my brother, Stoli, baby. Let's get it.
Welcome back for another Stolen Conversations. Really excited about this one today. Long overdue, some might say, honestly. This is episode 28, I believe. So, long overdue, I'd say. Before I introduce this guy has been in the city for a minute. Mr. Universe, Mr. Positive Vibes.
Yeah.
The ultimate creative, I would say, Orlando icon, CreativAngel. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my brother? Stoli, man.
Yes, sir.
We long overdue, but it's divine timing.
Divine, yes, sir.
Yes.
Had to push it back a day or two, but hey, we here.
Thank you for working, man. We got to flow in this. You got to flow in this business with everything that's going on, you know.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it can get exhausting, tiring, schedules conflicting. So
yeah.
I definitely get it, man.
Yeah, man. It's like I'm seeing now more and more how management is key. You feel me? Delegation is key, and that's especially in the industry that just demands so much from you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
sure,
I think people like us, we got a good heart, so we say yes to a lot. You overbook yourself sometimes. You feel me? So gotta keep it moving. You feel me?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah,
keep going. What's new with you, man? I mean, I'm sure we'll get into a few things, but how you feeling, bro?
Yo, bro, I'm feeling blessed, man. For real, I'm feeling blessed. Thank God first and foremost, bro.
Absolutely.
I always say it, man. From the Most High, just been working in my life, working in my heart. I feel this new level of peace in my heart, because just getting closer to God is just helping heal a lot of the things that you know, hurt us from the roots, you feel me? So
mandatory.
Yeah, I've been feeling so blessed. I feel like getting closer to God has been majorly what's been going on in my life, and everything has just been a byproduct of just my obedience, you feel me? Moving with that Christ-like heart, being grateful for everything I have, you know what I'm saying? My family's healthy. I got a roof over my head, you know?
Yes, sir.
I'm healthy, and I came a long way, and I think that with that kind of gratitude every day, you know, every day just feels like a blessing. Every day feels like a miracle. And everything else has been happening with my career and stuff like that is really a byproduct of me, like, searching for God wholeheartedly, you know?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, seek first the kingdom and his righteousness.
Yeah, bro.
And the rest will be added on.
Yeah, bro. Even
that's
just
scripture.
My subject matter, you know, and even the more that the scripture resonates, the more that my subject matter and my music changes and grows. So I think the exciting part about this part of the journey, which I have this new project, the Spiritual War 2.
Okay.
You know, I have like this series that I've been putting out since 2023. And I dropped the second part in March. I think it was like March 3rd. And it's been getting some good reception because I've been just transitioning more into giving God that praise and at the same time speaking authentically still for everything that I've been through. But now it's more understanding that, man, God really made the way. God really opened up all these doors and just transformed my heart and my life. So Spiritual War 2 out now, So Sophisticated out now, and Aesthetic Angelic. Those are my latest 3.
Hey, we're going to drop all those links in the comments so
sure,
people
man.
can easy access those.
Yeah.
So take me back, bro. What am I correct? You from Venezuela?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, man.
So what was that like? When did you come to the States, or was Florida your home base, or do you move around, or?
Yeah, I moved around. So I was born in Venezuela, and I lived there for about 9 to 10 years.
Okay.
First 9 to 10 years of my life. But my father moved to New York when I was 2 years old. So from the moment that I was, I think from like 5 to 10, every summer I would go to New York. So New York was like my first home after Venezuela. So I would vacation every year in New York. And then when I was think like 9 or
Like
10. I ended up,
the city?
yeah, like New York City, yeah, in Queens.
Queens, okay.
Yeah, and Ridgewood, man. Shout out Ridgewood, man. Grove Street.
Yes, sir.
And shout out Brooklyn too, cause that's where my cousin lives. So
Okay.
and Bushwick as well. You feel me? So between Ridgewood and Bushwick, that's where I grew up. Like after I came from Venezuela, and as you can see, like just two completely different worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming from a third world, coming from Venezuela. Real humble beginnings, and then getting this culture shock of coming to New York and seeing the big buildings. And that was always my dad's dream, you feel me? My pop's dream was always to come to the States. So I was like, me being here is like a byproduct of that.
Word.
Yeah.
So your mom was still in Venezuela at the time?
Yeah, my mom was still in Venezuela, and she was in Venezuela, for a while until she was able to come here about like 9 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so my mom's been here for 9 years. So I lived in Venezuela. I lived 9 years. In New York, I lived 4 years.
Okay.
And then I've been in Florida 19 years now.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We moved to Apopka, Florida after I came from New York.
Okay.
So yeah.
A little bit of also a culture shock.
Yeah, bro, exactly.
Or maybe somewhere in between. I don't know. I've never been to Venezuela, so.
I mean, man, I feel like all of these things that I've experienced where I live has made me who I am. I think that's why I'm so diverse too with how I have adapted in these different environments. Because in Venezuela, that's humble beginnings, And I always say to my music, like baseball with a broomstick, growing up like on the block over there, and God has always provided. Thank God, like even when I didn't have much, I had everything that I needed. And then I ended up moving to New York because my pops was like, yo, like, now, I want you to come live with me. I just remember that I used to go to New York all the time, and I would go back to Venezuela, and I'm like, man, I really want to live, in the United States. And it's like, I was kind of rebelling a little bit in Venezuela, like always getting into fights and always like causing ruckus and stuff. So my grandma was like, hey, maybe it's time that he goes over there, lives with you. And my dad really always wanted that. So I'm grateful that he made that call.
Yeah.
Because and me getting out of there that young really gave me the opportunity to be something. You feel me? Which is why I'm so grateful.
What did your pops do?
My pops, he owned a couple furniture stores.
Okay.
So now he's a furniture store manager, and he also has a couple properties and some land that he deals with. But at that time, he's always been in like the furniture business.
Got you.
Yeah, so he moved to.
That's what took him to New York.
Well, no, he actually when he moved from Venezuela to New York, he really started from scratch.
Got you.
He was just working whatever job he could find, and then started just kind of working his way up. He got a small apartment in New York, and that's when later on he ended up bringing me, and then he just kept working. Furniture's what took him, I feel like, from New York to Florida.
Oh, okay.
Because he ended up getting a job like I believe like near Miami or near Kissimmee, and he just wanted us to have a home and get out of the apartment and get out of like in essence like the hood that we were in. You feel me? Even though like Queens, Ridgewood on that side, it was not like the worst part of New York, but New York is a concrete jungle. You feel me? When it comes to like being a young kid.
Yeah.
And you live in like these small spaces. You know what I'm saying? So as the family grows, my dad's like, hey, we're gonna go to Florida. When he said Apopka, Florida, I'm like, bro, I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go over there. Like, I didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't want to move in this. For me, it's always been like I've moved so much in my life that like I never had like that stability. I think mostly my stability was like in Florida. You feel me? Because I've always moved like every other year.
So yeah, man, I can imagine just moving from humble beginnings, Venezuela, to the concrete jungle of New York.
Yeah.
Different culture. The American kind of dream, people would say. City that never sleeps.
For real.
It is like that if you've never been. I've been a few times, and it's crazy. Going and getting like I recall we was getting like pizza at like 4 a.m.
Oh, that's the
but
best,
it was like 9 o'clock at night. There's like 10, 12 people in line still. So,
That's
and
New
then
York.
yeah, Florida. What was that like coming here? As far as going from New York to then Florida, was it, oh, we living in the tropics, or I guess coming from Venezuela, you kind of had were you
Yeah,
a little used to that?
yeah. I kind of. It's funny because it's like Venezuela's like, you have like some of the most beautiful beaches, and then you have the mountains. You know what I'm saying? And then you have this like beautiful nature, right? So I go from that to New York, which is straight to concrete jungle, the tall
Yeah.
buildings, the skyscrapers. You're like, man, like this is, this is the things you see in movies. And then moving to Florida, at first it kind of was like, man, like this is like a forest, you know what I'm saying? Like then I'm like, I'm in the forest, like in the swamp forest, but
Oh
then I
yeah, yeah.
realized,
Apopka, you're a little
yeah,
ways out from Orlando, the city. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was in the park. I'm like, yo, like I feel like I'm over here, like, and I seen where I moved, there was like an orange grove in the back, and then you got the little lakes and the swamps and the little gators, and it was just like, yo, like this is crazy until I started to realize, like, there was beaches here too, like Daytona Beach and New Smyrna Beach, and further down you go to Tampa and you got the beaches, and I started loving that because that brought me back to Venezuela.
Mm,
And when we were in New York, we would travel a lot to Florida too. Like we would come when I was younger, we'd come to like Universal,
got you.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, with the family, and we always like loved Florida. So when I moved, I was like, all right, cool, this is pretty cool, like new beginnings, something different, and I definitely enjoyed the weather. When it got super humid, I was like, bro, it's too hot, but you
Yeah.
learn to adapt to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is definitely humid when you get off the plane. You're like, it hits you.
Bro, MCO
It's
is the most
different.
humid place
It's
in
different.
Orlando, bro.
Yeah, going out to I've been to Vegas a few times, and it's like
Oh
the
yeah,
dry heat.
for
Somewhat,
real.
some reason, I guess it's the humidity, but it's like you're able to withstand that. I feel like for me personally,
Yeah,
anymore a
yeah.
little bit more than here. It's like it's just like
Definitely, bro.
it's
Yeah.
like agony. It's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, for real, man.
How long you been growing the dreads, bro?
Yo, I've been growing the locks for what,
The
7 years now?
locks.
Yeah, bro. I've been growing them,
7.
yeah, since
Sheesh.
2018, bro. 2017, I was like, man, I think 2016, like I had like the curly hair.
Okay.
2017, it started kind of like free forming and it was longer. I started putting in the bun, and in 2018 is when it started like locking.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, I fully locked, and yeah,
Locked in on the locks.
locked in, bro. Yeah,
That's what's up.
it's real. That's like my all the influence that like the reggae and the Rasta culture brought into my
Right.
life.
Yeah, you carry that a lot in your art, and
Yes.
art in general. Like
Yeah.
you do a lot, bro. Like the clothing,
Yeah.
the music. Um, when did you kind of get into? I guess all of that. The art, was it always a passion? I mean, for creatives like us, I think
Yeah.
you kind of like born with that spirit. But when did it? You kind of be like, yeah,
Honed it
I'm gonna
in.
pursue this.
Bro, it's funny because like I didn't feel like I didn't feel I was like born with like the gift of music. I felt like
Mm,
because I was born in Venezuela, and you like being a kid over there is like you'll have dreams, but you don't really know like how those dreams are gonna become a reality. You feel me? Like you grow up humble with what you have, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I love to play baseball. I love to play sports. I would say that was my first love as far as like my art and my expression. I love to play sports. So
what were you playing?
I was playing baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, I played baseball, and I loved it because we played a lot like out in the street. And I love baseball and martial arts. You feel me? Like I used to like do karate and taekwondo and different things like that. So that was like my childhood. I would say like in Venezuela, more sports and being outside. It's like really you just be outside all day playing, whatever. Then New York, same thing, playing street ball. But then I started skateboarding
Mm,
because when I left Venezuela, my older brother, he gave me a System of a Down CD. So during that time, he was into his rock wave. And for me, I was just like listening to Spanish music. And then my older brother introduced me to rock. And my first CD was a System of a Down Toxicity CD that he gave me before I went to the States. So I start listening to that, and I start really liking rock music, you know. So then kind of like, and of course, like I like the Spanish music that I would hear as a kid, you feel me? But that's just like your culture and what you love. So I really love that music. I got a lot of inspiration from the way that Spanish people express themselves. You know, there's a form of expression that we have that I think really inspired me through my music. And then I started getting into rock because my brother gave me that CD. And in New York, I was like this like rocker skater when I was in like 6th and 7th grade. And then right there's when I kind of like ran into hip hop. Living in New York, living in Queens, I would hear like 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, Nas, you feel me? And 50 Cent was the main one that was really hitting in the streets at that time. And then I remember my cousin bought an Eminem CD, the Curtain Call CD, and we were listening to that. And I started to really like that form of expression, which was foreign to me because in Venezuela, I never really heard no hip hop. I never heard no rap. It was more like salsa, classical music, you know, jazz. So hip hop and R&B was a new thing to me when I was in New York. And that was like my introduction into what that was. And I was like, yo, we just kind of freestyle in the corner, just like having fun. And it wasn't until I got to Florida that I really like fell in love with hip hop. You know, my friends were listening to Southern hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing was like 50 Cent, Eminem, that was like the up north. And then coming down to Florida, then I would listen to like Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. And really Lil Wayne was probably one of the most impactful ones as far as like bars and lyrics. Because during that time, it was like the Drought 3.
Okay.
It was like the Drought 2 and the Drought 3. And then it was like the Carter 2. I would say this isn't like, because I moved to Florida in 2006. Yeah, I moved to Florida in 2006. I've almost been here 20 years. So in 2006, while I was in middle school, going into high school, Lil Wayne was that impact that I was like, man, like I really want to like try this, like, because his raps were just so crazy. I was like, I want to express myself like this. And that's when I start to just really dive into this hip hop journey. Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty crazy. Like, and of course, you know, up north, like because my style was more up north, every time I tried to freestyle, like at a Popka High School, like people would laugh at me for real. Because they just didn't understand.
It was a different
thing,
north
right?
to south. Yeah, for sure.
And I remember like I would like rap battle people when I was in like 9th grade, and they didn't understand my style. Like, and of course, you know, I was still starting and everything, but I saw that they were more like, they'll clown on you more, and then everybody would laugh. And I felt like that was the style. Like, that's what, like, welcome to the South, where it's like, this is like unorthodox and unethical, but it's like, I'm gonna roast you. Like, they would roast me in the rap battle. So it's like, that's how I would lose, and I get so frustrated because I'm like, man, I guess like I've been writing these bars, and and you know, it's like people are laughing at me. So I got together with a bunch of friends, and we started a rap group called Monster Flow.
Okay.
It was like 5 of us, and we just go around like freestyling and making music. And then I ended up seeing, one of my boys was like, yo, like, one of my boys has a recording program that was called Cool Edit Pro at the time.
Okay.
I think now it's like Adobe Audition. I think it's Adobe Audition now, but it used to be called Cool Edit Pro. And he was like, I have a boy that has this in his house. Maybe we should go, like, I'm gonna take you over there so you could like record a song.
Record something.
And I went over there, and bro had a headset mic. I think this was probably like 2007, 2008. And his name was Eric. We pulled up, we recorded the song, and I'm like, yo, I wanna get this in my crib type shit.
Yeah.
So he gave me the CD. Like, remember back in the day, you used to have programs on CDs type shit? So he gave me the CD. He's like, here, bro, install
so you could
it.
Like,
he's like, install this shit in your computer. And I'm like, for real, bro? He's like, yeah. And he's like, and then go to Walmart and get yourself
ultimate
like...
pirate.
For real. That was them LimeWire days, bro.
Yeah, word.
So I went to Walmart and got me a headset mic, and that's how I started.
Word, on a headset mic. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
That's what's up. Yeah. I think, I mean, obviously, hip hop is very it definitely grown as a culture.
Yeah,
What I don't know. It is the culture pretty much.
has become pop
Has become pop mainstream.
because pop is like popular culture, and I think that
Yeah,
now hip hop
hip
is that.
pop, hip hop.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of and it's kind of worked in like good and bad ways.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's so far from the essence that made me fall in love with it.
Mm.
You know, um, and
And
I
the roots,
and the
the
roots.
genre.
Yeah, exactly. Because what got me during those times was like the way that people would express themselves and the way that
The music.
the
Yeah.
music it was felt. And after I start listening to Lil Wayne. Like I had a girlfriend in high school that was like, man, you gotta listen to Kanye. You have to listen to Kanye West and
Where
listen to these
put
records.
you
And
on.
then I ran to another one of my boys, Alex, your cousin Alex, and he's like, man, you gotta listen to Nas, bro. You gotta listen to Jay-Z. So he started putting me on to these artists that are like helping me think outside of the box about life. And of course, Kanye's first single was Jesus Walks. So that was another thing that kind of drew me in. That's hearing that song, I was like, wow, like this is a very spiritual song. Like, and then I started like really loving Kanye's music, and it inspired me to like start producing. And so through high school, I would make my own beats. And after the headset mic, I ended up getting like I did like a pop filter with a pantyhose, and I bought like a little condenser mic, and then like
Yeah.
all my friends would come to my house, and we
The
just
closet
would just
booth.
record. Yeah, for real, like right there. And my mic stand was like this old like lamp, that chandelier lamp that my dad was not using, and that's how we started rapping and MCing. But it was the essence then. Going back to what we were saying about how it's come so far from the essence, it was the essence of expanding your mind and seeking God and things like that I feel like part of that has, gone away so much because we market, they market destruction in the music industry.
Yeah. Yeah,
me.
man, for sure. I think there's a revival happening though.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Definitely.
Definitely. I'm excited about that. I'm hype about that for sure. Cause it's been a lot going on.
Yeah. Um, Man, speaking on that, I was actually talking to somebody this morning about um, the current state of in the direction of the music, and we're kind of segues right into that. But it's like with the internet, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like it's very achievable, accessible to kind of pop through the internet. I mean,
Yeah.
we have so much like access, information, and insight to information in people's lives, and we see these like internet personas and characters and things like that. Do you think social media, in a sense, has had a negative or ruined the like authenticity and character of someone trying to be an artist? Like, do you have to put on this facade, this character, this
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
ask?
yeah. This is a good question, bro, cuz we were just talking about this last week, just talking about this with my brother Wise Baby, young scholar. Shout out to my brother, man, out there doing big things.
Hey.
We were talking about this, and I think that it's just like everything is a double-sided blade, when it comes to social media, because I think what's happening now is that because people are getting viral moments, and that is giving you like a fast track to success, it's hard to sustain, because if you're a TikToker with a viral moment, and it's hard to turn like an influencer into an artist. But if you're already an artist and you already are building your catalog and you've already been putting in that work, then consistency on social media is gonna be what's gonna take you to that level, because you already have a foundation and you'll be able to have longevity. So in a sense, it has damaged it a little bit, because everything seems like it's a popcorn record. Like records don't hit no more like how they used to hit. That I have records from 15 years ago, still from Kanye's early graduation,
Timeless stuff.
that are timeless. You know,
Yeah.
the Carters and these early records, Nas's records and stuff like that. That man, 15, 20 years later, you listen to them, you're like, man, these people were really on to something 20 years ago.
Right.
You know, now it's like you probably forgot half the songs, you know, from like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. And so the more that the game gets commercialized, the more that it demands, the machine demands more. And it's like, it's parallel to America. We live in a consumption society. It's consumerism and consumerism. And that's essentially, that's the machine, right? So that's what frustrates real artists, having to feed that machine every
Right.
single day. When
Yeah.
artists are, you know, being an artist is spiritual. It's like, and for me, I feel like it's being a voice for God or for the Most High, you know, and because He's given us these gifts. So that's the first thing. It's like music really should be, and it was meant to be, to praise and give thanks for God for the life that He's created us. But biblically speaking, because Satan, I feel like, is the angel of music, and he's kind of like manipulated that sector. It's like music is very also pride and ego filled, and is very destructive. So going back to has social media hurt it, like it's hurt it, and at the same time it's allowed real artists to be independent. So I gave you the downside, which is like it's hard because artists want to build authentically. You want to take your time with your album, but social media is like this, bro. You need to drop a single every week, like Russ.
Yeah.
You know, and you know Russ is like somebody who I was like learning the independent blueprint. That I'm like, man, wow, like this is what consistency looks like. Because when we're younger, you don't got nobody telling you, bro, drop all the music. You almost want to move like what you see, which are the artists. They're dropping an album a year. They're dropping 2 singles per year. So when we were younger, we're thinking, oh, we're making all this music. But like in that time, Russ was like dropping a song every week on SoundCloud, right? So all of that consistency made a foundation for him to have this like successful career that's gone he's probably going on 10 years now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Of independent success, and maybe, you know, major features and contracts that come after that. So the great part about social media has been that it's like now we have the power to release our music when we want, create our own merch, distribute our own music, drop content every day whenever we want, and create our own following. So it's in essence, social media is a blessing for an artist because now you're cutting out the middleman and you're going direct to consumer. So it's about, and now I see it like every day is a shot you got to take, you know, regardless of like, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So that's my thing with, because I'm an artist, but I'm also like an entrepreneur. I'm also a creative, you know, like you said earlier, the ultimate creative. I love that. So I have to figure out like how to serve God through my art, and also how to understand what is working right now, and being like, so I know I have to be consistent enough if I know that this is what I want. Because if not, then I'm just putting everything in the hands of somebody else to, and that's the thing with record deals now. It's like everything is about leverage. So back then it was like, if you were talented and you knew the right people, you could get a record deal, and then they'll give you a big advance. But what did that end up being? A big ass contract that was a loan.
Yeah.
They lending you the cars, they lending you the clothes, and a lot of our favorite artists ended up without equity because they just got a big check up front and they thought this is what it is. But now all of the expenses to keep up with the lifestyle, once again, consumerism, you know, only the hip hop culture millionaires like dress like that. Every other millionaire is like, it's not flashing. You probably wouldn't even know, right? So when you see that and you see the consumerism of it, you realize, okay, this is what happened back in the day when people got these deals. Now what are they looking at? They're not looking for the talent. They're looking at how many followers do you have? How much motion do you have on your social media? Do you have videos with millions of views? How much merch have you sold? you know. So this is what I learned when I get in these rooms,
Mm.
you know, like the BET Awards and these BET media rooms. That this is what I'm learning is that the game is constantly evolving. So now it's like we don't want to invest and take a risk on somebody. Let's look at somebody that's already know what they're doing with what they got,
Mm.
and let's put the machine behind them.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
Russ talks about that too. Like,
yeah,
it got to a point where he, like, I think he signed a deal, but it was more so for that extra,
exactly.
that that bag and
Which makes yeah,
yeah,
exactly, which makes perfect sense, man. It's like selling a business, you know. You grow a business and then
right.
later on you sell it, you know. And I don't blame artists that are selling their catalogs either because
Mm.
you've worked for that your life. Maybe you and you know like the music industry is exhausting. So at a point, I know certain people like Justin Bieber, I think just sold his catalog.
Yeah.
Probably everything he went through, bro. He don't want to deal with none of that no more. Like he's probably like, look, give me 200 M's. I was young. And it's harder to manage your money when you're younger in the industry.
Mm.
So it's like every time I heard somebody say, "Oh, you know, the the industry's it's a young man's game," I just realized that that's almost like a setup for you to not get the best situation because when
Mm.
you're young, you don't understand how contracts work.
Yeah.
You if you never seen $20,000 and somebody puts that on the table for you, you're not gonna understand that they might make 2 million off of that, and you only gonna see 20 racks.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that because they make all these bad financial decisions through time, like you see Bieber, he was young in the game maybe, and he was around people that weren't guiding him the wrong way. He's like, look, I gotta sell my catalog to probably keep up with how I'm living, and at the same time, let me get away from this
Mm.
because this is so like detrimental. So yeah, man, like so I feel like social media is good and it's bad. It's both.
Yeah. The double-edged sword, like
Yeah,
you said,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah, that's good, man. I don't want to steal too much of the conversation, but if you're liking what you're hearing, you like the channel, you can support. It means everything. Head over to jacobstoll.com. Check out our merchandise. Get you one of these Stoli Productions t-shirts, and stay tuned. More to come. You brought up entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
When did the glasses and the clothing and the really, I guess, the overall branding
Come about.
come about?
That was in that was about the idea was like in 2014
Okay.
was when I got the idea. So I graduated high school in 2010 and I went like solo, like I kind of me and the group went our separate ways in like 2011, 2012. So I did my first solo mixtape, Flame the Perfectionist, and that came out in 2012. And then that's when I really started expanding from like a popka out to my area to like really go downtown and really go to the open mics downtown. And I remember there was a promoter named G Live that he passed, you know, that he was
Mm.
out here a long time ago. Rest in peace to him. He was putting on a lot of shows. Then there was like this thing called Afton shows that we used to do. Um, and so
Afton. I
Afton, right?
remember
Remember,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Afton
It's
shows.
crazy.
Yeah. And
Sheesh.
then and even back in the day, my boy was in the scene Dizzle Funk that I'm working with closely now. But back in the day, I just remember seeing him in the scene too. And um, so in 2012, I started expanding it, and after I kind of seen how things are working, I'm like, all right, well, how am I going to like survive off of this? Like, how am I gonna make some paper from these shows? Because nobody's gonna pay you, you know,
The
right when
booking,
you're
yeah.
starting, right? And I think that's another thing that people don't get now, the groundwork at the beginning. Um, like I get it. People want me to come to open mics now, and if I really rock with you, like I'll pull up. But I probably have done 1,000 in the city, so now I'm like, how can we continue to leverage up? Because when you put in that groundwork, you realize, okay, this is how I can survive. And the idea of the brand was me and my cousin, Creative J. When I went to New York, we were like, yo, we need something that's gonna represent us. We need something that's gonna allow us to survive in this game and make a little bit of money while we traveling and doing these shows. So the idea of Creative Universe came around 2014 and we incorporated in 2015. Um, and we designed some hats that said plus vibes on them.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my first drop, and I think like everybody in the city like remembers me from those beginnings where I used to just
Yeah.
like sell all the hats and yeah, I realized I'm an independent artist, and something that a lot of people don't know is that in in 2010, 2011, I was gonna get a record deal with Sony Music. When I was with my group, I was with my boy Benji, and my friend's mom was managing us, and she knew a Sony rep. His name was Rafael Cavang, and he had managed like Prince Royce, and he had managed like um, Mark Anthony back in the day, and he had this idea for us to be like the Black Eyed Peas, like the Spanish Black Eyed Peas. Like I was gonna rap in Spanish, my boy was gonna sing in English, and then we were gonna have a girl that was singing too. So I remember, I think that was like around 2011, before like the kind of split apart with the group, and I just remember that that was my first look at like what industry production was like and what we were working on and we were in a real studio. Um, and we really had high hopes for that deal, man. I
Yeah.
thought that I was gonna get a record deal when I was 19, and I was so hype about it. The issue was that we were like getting into trouble. Like we were also in like when I was 19, I was probably like just out on the street all the time, hanging around my friends, and we were just doing a lot of fighting at parties and young teenage stuff. You feel me?
Yeah,
Getting
yeah.
into fights and getting into predicaments, and I remember having to call my manager at 3 a.m. because we had just gotten into a fight, and people had pulled out guns, and just it got crazy. And so I called my manager to pick me up at like 4 in the morning, and she's just like, "Man, I can't believe that you guys are out here doing this like this, and we have these opportunities." And I was just like, "Man, like we really got to tighten up." Um, and sure enough, many things ended up happening, and that fell apart. One of the producers ended up passing away. There was a discussion between the managers. Our manager didn't like what we were doing and who we were hanging around and the dangerous things we were getting into. So the deal didn't go through. You feel me? And I feel like that was hard on like my state of mind from like 2012 to like 2014 or 15. It took me those 3 years to really get back and be like, all right, cool. Look, whether I get a deal or not, I'm gonna print something on something and I'm gonna sell it. Like I'm gonna go to every pop-up shop. I'm gonna go to every event, every show, meet who I gotta meet, and I'm gonna have these hats with me. And if people can purchase them, it's gonna keep my career going. So that's how we incorporated Creative Universe.
Dope. That's what's up. Kind of had the vision before all that happening, so it kind of
bro.
not say it was like the backup plan. It was gonna happen anyway, but it worked out for how it was supposed to work out.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Like and I still thank God because I feel like God could have probably just I think God really saved me from the music industry when I was a kid, bro. Like when I was younger, because maybe He knew my heart and He knew how pure it was and the things that I wanted, but I was so susceptible to to influence, bro. That's what happens when you're young.
Yeah,
you can't be around too much. Yeah, you feel me? It's like, and even in that time, I'm susceptible to the influence of my homies as, doing all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, it's like there was this power behind it and this pride that came with it that I really enjoyed doing. It was crazy, it was whatever, but I in hindsight, I look back, I'm like, man, God was really protecting me from all these things that could have happened to me, and at the same time letting me be in the industry without no real knowledge of the industry. We just had raw talent and a will and the energy to do it. And God was just like, I'm gonna just teach you patience.
Yeah, facts.
And you're gonna take this road, but later on you'll see, 10 years later, you'll see, wow, like when the music industry's crumbling, you know what I'm saying?
It was a blessing.
You're like, wow.
You got something else going.
Yeah. And God'll do that. God'll be like, don't idolize man, bro.
Facts.
The moment we start doing that, we can go on a path of destruction, bro. So yeah, bro. Praise God, man. Praise God.
Man, so yeah, praise God. I have to say.
God bless. Y'all first.
So the BET Awards, bro. You was just out there.
I was, bro.
How was that?
Bro, it was dope, man. I enjoyed that whole week.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good week, man. I'm so grateful, shout out my boy Wise Baby. He's been a selected personality at the BET Awards for 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the last 3 years he's been he's been telling me like, yo, come to LA, let's meet for the BET weekend. You know, let's work together. I have these plays. Like, can you assist me with this and that? And
Dope.
you know, like one thing about me, like I'm a team player, bro. Like,
Yeah.
when we got a team and we got moves, I'll play whatever position is needed.
Right.
You know, for all of us to win, because that's the same way that I've seen the people in my life that have reached the level of success work, and what my mentors have told me, like when you help others succeed, bro, like it's inevitable that you succeed. And all of that really trickles down into biblical principles of serving,
Yeah.
because it's easy to be like, oh man, like this is all, you know, like we here, bro, like this is what we doing, like it's easy to pop it.
Yeah.
But I see that that's just pride, but the pride comes before the fall. So for me, I'm like, if I got a brother that I see that genuinely rocks with me, he's doing his thing, and he lets me know, yo, I need you here, I'm gonna be like, yo, what do you need from me? And I'm gonna pull up, and we go, and in that, within those same realms, the doors open. Now you here helping your boy genuinely because you rock with him, and all of a sudden you turn around and you're meeting Sierra, and you're meeting Kurt Franklin.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You're meeting Papoose, and you meeting all these people. You meet La Russell, you feel me?
Fire.
Getting to have a conversation, you know, shout out to La Russell and T. Like, they're the other people that have taught the independent blueprint.
Major.
And
they
grind.
in the same rooms.
The real content king, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like La Russell, like putting out content every day, every single day. So getting to see them, and yeah, bro. So it was a great time. We had so many events, met so many people, and I'm just grateful to have been able to be in those rooms, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a dope look.
Yeah,
Dope
bro. We grew up on that, bro.
Yeah, right?
Me and my boys used to. That was another thing that inspired me. We love freestyling. Like, my style comes from freestyling a lot, you know what I mean? And we used to love watching the BT Cyphers and the BT Awards.
Yeah, facts. Classics.
Yeah, bro.
Is that one of those moments, like, you kind of, like a surreal moment, you kind of look around, you're like, yo.
Yeah.
You think back and you're like,
yeah,
yo.
bro. So many emotions when you're in that room, especially the BET media room, because BET has a media room every year where, you know, one side is the radio stations and one side is all the podcasts. So my boy has a podcast he's with Hood Clips. So shout out Hood Clips, shout out What's Hood, shout out Empire. And so my boy YS, he has his podcast in one side. And so all the celebrities come through those rooms, and you know, they sit down and have interviews. So you know, and it's like, wow, it's surreal, and at the same time it's like overwhelming, because I was like going to the bathroom and like the brat walked past me, and I'm like, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying? And then like I'm going back into the room, and the Sierra walked past me, and she's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, it's just one of those things where you're like, hold on, like,
a little overwhelming
right?
at first. Yeah.
You know, and it's super cool to see, because being in this position now where I am, spiritually allows me to realize that we are genuinely all humans. And when you are yourself, and when you don't idolize or worship, people see you for authentically who you are. And just being me in these rooms for these last couple years, and people recognizing me, like it just shows me a lot about staying true to who you are, staying true to your character.
Word.
And not trying to put that facade, because there could be a lot of that in the music industry, and I see how that could be. But I see that authenticity is always gonna thrive, bro, because there's only one creative angel. You feel me? There's only one Stoli.
Word.
So am I the best at what I do? Yes, I'm the best at what I do, because only I do it. You see? So that's what I learned about those people that are there, and why getting out of the hometown and being in those rooms, I show you that, like, man, people will have real respect for you if you're authentically you.
Yeah.
If you're too cooped up in the hometown and not expanding, then inevitably the people around you are just gonna kind of keep you at this level, just kind of keep you there, because
the monkeys
it's like,
in the barrel.
Yeah.
It
sucks, but it's like that in every city, not just here.
For sure. That's part of the word too, man. Jesus had to leave. A
prophet has no honor in his hometown. Feel me?
Facts.
So it's like, that's been the greatest part. I love traveling. I love moving around a lot. And God has always moved me around in my life, so I actually
Yeah.
love it. Like flying from Venezuela to New York and all those things that have given me this like love for traveling and knowing how to adapt in different environments. It's all God for real, man. God really moves.
Was this looking back, you know, if you look back 20 years ago, did you always have this dream to be where you're at now, or how did it look then versus where you're at now?
I think like 20 years ago, my dream was to be a baseball player.
Okay.
'Cause like that was like my first love,
Got
baseball,
you,
and then I
got
played
you.
in Apopka High School varsity, and fell in love with music when I was in 11th grade, and that's when a dream began. You
Okay.
know, and I was like 16, 17.
Got you.
So, and I'm 32 now, so maybe like 15 years that
15.
I've been like 15 years is when I was like, man, like I wanna, you know, like I wanna I wanna be a famous artist all around the world. That's what every kid wants for real.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? When you're seeing these artists and you're like, man, like I'm gonna blow up one day. I'm gonna be famous. You know, I'm gonna put my family on. Like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the first like millionaire in my family, and that's when the dream began. And I think for 15 years I've just been going and finding myself and finding the success and finding it independently, and I didn't envision it to be like this, but this is the road that like God chose for me. And then there's certain things that I'm like, wow, God really showing me that this is real. Like when I got the opportunity to perform at like the Amway, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, for sure. I
but-
know that. So we'll get to that. But those things just like, wow, like there's gotta give you confirmations along the road, but it's never a linear way up.
It's not how you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's never how you think. And sometimes what we want is not what we need.
Mm.
And that's what we gotta find the balance is like.
Or not right now. Not this time.
Exactly.
And that patience you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. You know,
facts.
you see in hindsight, like, man.
You got them.
what?
He's instilled those desires in your heart, but not right now.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
bro. Exactly. Because the flesh wants things really fast. And that's what and the more we like get into this social media day, the more we live in a short-term gratification society where it's like everybody wants success tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the desires of the flesh, they want to be fulfilled now.
Mhm.
But the spiritual is like, take your time.
Facts. So the Amway, bro. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that. That came from cause you and YS Scholar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, let's talk about that. The 7, bro.
Yeah, bro, the 7,
The
man.
7. That record, man,
Wow.
did some things, bro.
Seriously,
Woke
man.
the city up. Put it up. I
Seriously.
think it really put it on a whole different level.
Yeah, bro, honestly.
That video, crazy.
Yeah,
The Magic Mall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, what was I guess, how'd that come about?
Yeah.
And then we'll jump to the Amway.
Yeah, so the 7, man, that was one of those moments that I feel like you always dream about, you know, like being known in your city,
Yeah.
you know, being recognized for what you do, who you are. So from 2015 to 2017, I was doing pop-up shops in Orlando and I was doing open mics. And then I end up meeting like YS Baby because I met MK. I met DJ
Okay.
MK first.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out MK. Shout out Brit. Shout out Desiree. At the time, they were working with 104.5 The Beat, and they were also doing events around the city. And I also met Jennifer Desire from Fusion. She was doing a lot of open mics at the time. I was working with these guys, TSA Showcase,
Okay.
during that time, and they were putting together shows and they were bringing out artists, and we were performing at Back Booth. So really, Back Booth is like the home court for like
Yeah,
real
facts.
Orlando artists. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah.
Like that's where, you know, from the early days of like, you know, Swamp Posse,
The real
and
underground.
the real underground, like the Swamp Posse, and then
Yeah.
and XXX and Ski Mask, and even Post
Facts.
Malone come in, and you know, and Tyler, you feel me, early, and Sky, and Danny, you feel
Yeah.
me, and Keys, and all these, like all of us like would perform at Back Booth, like continuous shows, you feel me, and that's where I met all those guys too. You feel me? Like I met them around like that, and once I started building those connections of just doing a lot of open mics and getting in where I could with these shows and getting my name out there. I started working on a project. Um, and that's when I was working on a project in 2016, and then they threw a show called Smokechella,
Okay, yep. I
which was
remember that.
by MK. It was by 104.5, and they threw it at, I believe it was the patio. Yeah, it was the patio.
Word.
Yeah, so they
Okay.
threw it at the patio. Scholar was actually hosting that event, and I had a set, which I went totally crazy on the set. Like I pulled out some of the best records I was working on and just went crazy at that time. My people were like really, I was really building like a support system of my people that would come to my shows, buy my merch. And so that was a 420 event. I go crazy. Scholar's hosting. He's like, man, he's like, I ended this song called Roll Up and Smoke, and I went crazy with it. And then he's like, man, roll up and smoke then. I remember him saying that shit, you know? I roll up and smoke then. So I remember me meeting Scholar after the show, and meeting him right there, and was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, man, y'all got talent. You got a lot of talent. You should come host some parties with me, because he was doing first Mondays at Vintage.
Okay.
As a Vintage lounge. So it just goes to show how like a lot of things that are gonna be something big start like in such a mysterious way. You just don't
a
know.
conversation.
Yeah, bro. Just a
something.
conversation. You keep doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and then it's like it's funny because I remember like there was a part of the conversation was like, oh well, you know, he's doing all that because you know he's got the radio station and stuff. It's like, but all of that came about because I was grinding so hard for so many years.
Yeah.
To be able to have a foundation that people from the radio station actually saw me and were like, oh wow, like you know, you got talent. And Scholar's like, come host these parties. So I'm hosting parties with him for like a year straight. Every first Monday, just off the string, bringing my people in, whatever. And you know, I start telling them like, bro, I really like your voice. I like your delivery. I want you to host my mixtape. So I was working on a mixtape in 2017 called Vibe City.
Okay.
And I tell Scholar, yo, come to the studio. I want you to host my mixtape. Like, just throw some, you know,
The tags
throw
and
some
the
tags and
drops
stuff on it. Yeah. So we get to the studio and he's like, man, I rap.
Cat's out the bag.
So I'm playing on these records and he's like, man, I rap. Like, and I'm like, word, like you rap, and of course, you know, like at that time, you kind of like, oh man, you know, like this is not what like I expected, but okay, like I'm like because I rocked through him, I was like, bro, like I rock with you, like you could get a verse on whatever of these songs, and I already had the 7. I already had a rough version recorded because I was making this project literally in my boy's living room, my boy Aaron at the time, and my boy Berto, and my boy DJ Definite. They all lived in this crib in like around Pine Hills and shit. And I used to go over there all the time. I was making the 7. So I remember I made that hook in the living room, and I FaceTimed my girl at the time, and I was like, yo, listen to this. And I'm like, it's been heating up in this, right? I was playing it for her, and she's like, she was a flight attendant, so she's like, I like this. Like, I like this. This is different. Like, she's hyping me. She's like, I like this. Like, I like the 7 hook. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to the studio. Scholars, like, I'm playing him the songs that I'm like, I hope that he doesn't pick the 7, you know, because
Because you're like, this one's mine. I got this.
Yeah, during this time, I had this idea of like, I'm going to do the song. I'm going to put like my favorite Orlando artist on it, you know. And I think at the time I wanted like Kim, Stefan's son. I wanted Tyler. I wanted Whoop. I wanted Sky. I wanted Old Town Marco on it. I wanted Danny Towers on it. Like I had this idea of like I'm gonna go get all
Doing
the
like
top.
a remix.
Yeah, it's like
giant
that was always
remix.
an idea. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get all these people on it. That was before I knew that like that they call 700 Block the 7. You feel me? And we'll like get back to that later, but. So Scholar, of course, here's the 7, and he's like, I want to get on this shit right here. So I was like, I bet, you know what? Like, I love his energy. I feel like he's gonna go crazy on it, and I feel like we're really gonna push it because I see how he moves. You feel me? So I was like, I like this. Like, let's do it. So he drops the verse, and now we got the record, and I'm like, yo, this record is pretty crazy. Like, we did like a rough draft, and then we went back into 212 Studios, 212 Recording.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cam. He recorded it, and then I got it mixed and mastered by Iggy, who was working at East Room. Um,
18? Was he 18?
oh
18?
shit, he was at 18 during that time before he went to East Room.
Word.
No, he
Facts.
was at Studio
I met
18.
him at 18.
Yeah, bro. Studio 18, man. I missed that place, bro. That was some good times there. Yeah, he was there at the time, man. Iggy, he mixed and mastered that song
Dope.
on a whole nother level, bro. And once we heard it, we were like, yo, we could really do something with this. Like, and we just start campaigning it because at the time, I have this side of the city that's like all the events with TSA Showcase, Fusion Showcase, For the Culture Showcase, Super Festival. Like I'm making my rounds in the side of the city where all the performers are and where all the artists are and stuff like that. And Scholar got the whole other side of the city on lock, like the Beachum, the radio, a lot of the hood spots.
You're
feel me?
like kind of in the streets, and he's kind of more on the business side of the things. Like you're tapped in with the people, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. But
No,
essentially,
it's like we both tapped in with the people, but it's like two sides of the city. Like
Yeah,
he's more in like the club and the radio, and I'm more in like the artists that are performing, the open mics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that culture side, because there's different. And during that time, like the reason why that record worked so well is because there were so many different moving pieces that were like
moving
together.
Yeah, fire.
That's why I had that motion, because not only were we able to get it on the radio because it was, but we did that because we had to get it to buzz ourselves. So a lot of people are like, we love the marketing campaign because y'all always in our face with it,
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Is just Scholar really, he has a crazy ass work ethic, and he has a way of campaigning that is like unlike any other, and that's why he's in the position that he is, because he knows how to move through every room and connect the dots. If we were at the club, man, we performed the 7 everywhere in Orlando, like from a hole in the wall to the middle of the street, like in Kissimmee, outside of what's the studio that's in Kissimmee?
92?
92, yeah, 92, Pro 92, yeah, outside of there, to the back booths, to the sound bar, to the vintage, to the Vice, to the Beachum, to the patio, to the like every place you could think of, we were there performing it, networking it.
To the Amway.
And then it got to the Amway, bro. I'm like, yo. I'm like, dog.
Another surreal moment. All the hard work pay off.
Dude, all that hard work paid off, man. It was a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
The whole thing
what was that like?
Yeah.
Being in Orlando, well, not from, but growing up, half your life here. The Amway, the stadium, the magic, you on the floor.
I guess that's why people felt some type of way about it, because it's like...
People felt some type of way?
Yeah, I mean... It happens. Like, I feel like it always happens in the city.
Oh, because you weren't born and raised?
Pretty much. That was part of it.
Yeah.
That was part of it. Because it would, man, like, the intention behind it was the fact that I wanted to make something, because I said 40718 in the 7. And 40718 is like the area code of Orlando plus the area code of New York. So because I said that, like, I guess it, threw a couple people off down here, because there's a lot of people that have moved from New York to Florida. And
yeah, it's a melting pot.
Yeah, it's a melting pot, and it's one of those things that I wanted to know that, hey, that's why I say a Popka class of 2010. You feel me? Because I rep APK. You feel me? And a lot of the people that are legendary in the streets and in the hoods and whatever, like, I've known them from a Popka. I've known them from, just coming up. And my goal was to unite that, but there was some discrepancies in the middle with certain situations, and it kind of caused that to get out of control with certain things. And you know what? God just didn't have that in the plan for that to go further, because there was so much that was happening involved. And I think that we had an amazing run, like, I got mad love for the city. I got love for everybody. I understand why people may feel the way they do, because when there isn't the right communication with certain situations, and there's other people in people's ears about what's happening and why it's moving like that. And you got to remember, Orlando is like, it's like everybody wants to be that person, and everybody wants to be the one that, like, puts the city on.
Yeah.
And I think that once you start getting higher and higher up, certain people will start to get in their feelings about like, where are you from and why are you doing it like this and why are you repping it like this or why are you saying this or why are people acting like it's a gang. And once it starts to get too deep, it was almost like it didn't have like a space to grow anymore. It had to hit that high ceiling.
Authentic anymore.
Right.
It's like yeah.
So, and yeah, and I think everything happened for a reason because we both had a lot to learn from that. And shit, being at the Amway, I'm like, yo, like we hit, you know what I'm saying? We did it for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We did it. And I know it's a moment that lives in people's hearts. It's a moment that it's a golden age of the Orlando scene. I think from 2015 to like 2020, even maybe like 2014. And I know for some people it's earlier than that. But I think a major golden era in Orlando was that because like I said, it was a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
It was you had people throwing shows, you had people doing events, you had the radio stations involved in bringing us to the station, you know. And you had, DJ D Strong putting that, being the head of that, putting that together with iHeartMedia. And then you had Young Scholar, then you had MK, then you had Britt, then you had Desiree. You had these people making the radio thing happen. And you had the Beacham, you had everybody at the Beacham moving, and had the Saturday nights at the Beacham. And, things were really in motion, you feel me? And people really loved it. And I'm sure there's still, like, I see that there's a lot of going on still in the city.
Yeah.
But there's just not this, like, infrastructure, and it's hard to sustain something without a big infrastructure,
Word, is that, you think that's what's missing in the city? Because there's a lot of controversy over the Orlando music scene, and
It always has been.
It always, yeah. I don't know why, but I mean, it's probably like that in everywhere.
It's like that everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
like I've tried, like
people don't
now,
realize, but
yeah, like everywhere I've been is like that, bro. However, there are places that have an infrastructure. Like I remember the conversation me like, oh, why is in Orlando like Atlanta where everybody helps each other and all this stuff, right? Like that was a conversation at a point in time.
Yeah.
And I just realized is like, well, first you have to have somebody to like really make it out of the city and bring a win back to the city in a way that impacts the city. Because putting the city on is not just like, hey, I made it, I'm from Orlando. That's repping the city.
Yeah.
But it's like putting the city on is like, did you come back?
Something back to the community.
Did you come back to the city and elevate the next person?
Yeah.
When you had the opportunity to do that, and not, what I'm saying? Like everybody makes their own moves, so I don't judge anybody for anything. In fact, when I stopped taking things personal, I realized that my life became more at peace.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel me? And when I stopped concerning myself so much about like, am I getting this love from the city or not? That's when I started to grow beyond the city because there's a big world out there, and the main thing about the city is building an infrastructure, building a community. If you're an independent artist, building your own clientele. And making sure you got your own team and you making your own money and you booking your own shows. Because if not, it's gonna when the dry season comes and nobody getting booked.
Yeah.
And everybody feeling like, oh, the city this and the city that and the city. Everybody want to say stuff about the city. It's like, bro, we have social media now, so anybody can blow up. You just have to be consistent enough. We have plenty of places where we can throw events, but can you bring some people out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the conversation is no longer about talent. Like, I'm tired of hearing people say, like, oh, the talent, we're looking for the talent. It's like, we know Orlando got talent, bro. There's so many people. There's so many talented people in Orlando.
The business move.
It's like
the investment.
Now it's like, look.
The ROI.
Right. Now it's like there's so much talent. People want to know, what are you going to do with that talent and how can we build something together with that that's going to uplift the community? Because even, bro, like a real like rap career is not very long. So when you have that moment, you have to uplift other people. You got to put your team on. You got to put people in position. That way it keeps carrying. And then if you have too much pride for your brother to get hot, which is I feel like is an issue everywhere too. It's like people want to work with each other, but they want to compete. They're not putting their ego to the side enough. Like, let your brother shine. You feel me? And when it's that time, you can shine. And I think that's one of the things that me and YS Baby have done great in our brotherhood and in our how we grow together.
Yeah.
Cause it's like we not caught in the ego of like, you know, if I'm shining at these shows and he's shining at these shows, bro, it's like we both shine together, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Y'all know when to
yeah,
pass. Y'all know
it's a
when to
win-win.
shoot. Yeah.
It's a team. Like I was saying, bro. Like I consider
Facts.
myself like I'm a team player. Like if we love each other and I know you got my best interest at heart, then I'm gonna play ball, bro. And I'm gonna play where in the position that I fit. And I'm gonna help uplift my people because it's not just about me, bro.
Yeah.
And getting closer to God has allowed me to realize that. You feel me? And man, I love Orlando. This is the city that has made me, bro, who I am. You feel me? So big up to Orlando. Big up to everybody in the 407. Shout out everybody that supported the 7, all the radio stations that played it.
Hey.
Everybody that showed love. And at the same time, you know, and respect to people that, you know, weren't feeling it. Because I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You feel me? Like, I'm not upset if people don't like my music. Some people love me for my music, and some people love me for who I am. Some people love me for who I am, might not really like my music. And that's fine, bro, because it's deeper than that. It's really about bringing people closer to God. It's not about pride. Because at a point in time, yeah, I felt like, man, like, yeah, that city, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some pride shit. Like, you want to be everybody want to be the man in their city. But are you ready to be a man for God when it's time to serve? Because if people had that heart, there'd be a lot more people on. Because they'd be actually giving that look to their brothers when they're in their room. And now you see that person came on. Because it's like, why is one person out of 5 people that we knew, that's the only person on? You're not really on until you put your team on. Because one person can't sustain so long, you know. So, yeah, bro. But big up to the O, man. The 7.
This episode is supported by the Rare Care Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization focused on educating kids, adults, and caregivers on health and wellness and rare disease. If you'd like to show support, go to rarecarefoundation.org. For 10% off at checkout, enter the code RARELOVE, period, right here on the screen. Don't forget that period at the end. Let's get back to this episode.
I don't know if you saw the Savi episode. I had him on like 2-3 episodes ago.
You did?
So he was one of the ones. He mentioned you, bro. He
Oh,
mentioned, told me about, I want to get your perspective, but the ASAP
Oh, okay.
situation.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't see that episode. I gotta go back and look at
how
it.
did that come about, man? The it was Rolling Loud.
Oh, I saw a clip. of him talking about
Rolling Loud, ASAP Mob. Y'all was like dancing or background.
Yeah.
him.
Man, that was a crazy summer, bro. That was summer 2023, bro. Like,
word.
All right, so shout out 104.5 The Beat and iHeartMedia because they gave me the free tickets to Rolling Loud that year.
Okay.
And yeah, like I got 2 free tickets to go to Rolling Loud. Shout out 104.5. I think it was Kelly that was there. And so I ended up getting the tickets. I guess a couple more people got the free tickets from Orlando too. I ended up just taking the bus out there. Cause I was like, at the moment, my car was like tweaking, so I was like, man, I can't drive it to Miami. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just hop on the bus. I called my boy that was out there, and I told him, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm coming out there, but he wasn't available. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna book a telly, and I'm just gonna figure it out. So I got the tickets. I ended up going over there. I ended up getting into Rolling Loud, and sure enough, I ended up running into Savi and Jovens.
Yes, sir.
Now, I known Jovens from when we used to work AT&T and DirecTV, because we both used to work for this. We used to work for a marketing company.
Got you.
Shout out to them, Prestige Business Solutions. Some of the best times of my life too, man. They're an amazing marketing company based out of Orlando. And I met Jovens there, and then I met Savi in the scene. So I seen them, and I'm like, yo, what up? Like, that's what's up. The homies is here, so we hanging out, we making our rounds. And I remember that it got to a point, like, we separated, because, we had this big festival.
Yeah.
Big up Tariq, man, which I just was chopping it up with him in L.A. Rolling Loud just has become this, like, the biggest hip-hop festival in the world, and that was, like, my first time really attending, so I was like, wow, this is amazing. Shout out to Danny Towers, too. He's been on that lineup, man. for so many years, and for me to get to see that grow and then get the tickets and get to the experience was such a dope vibe. And so I ran into one of my homies that was telling me that there was some opportunities with the whole ASAP Rocky set, and I was like, okay, like we'll make something happen. But I'm like, what is the opportunity? And he's telling me, oh, it was my homie Rich. It's my homie Richie. Do you know him? Rich Soul.
I don't know.
No, okay. Well, so he's Rich Soul Richie. He was like, yo, one of my homies has an opportunity with Ace, like to be a part of ASAP Rocky's set.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, let's make it happen. So I'm walking with him, and then I run into Savi and Jovens, and I think like they were in the middle of the conversation talking about it, or like I came up talking about it and then somebody else mentioned it.
I think when he presented it, when he told me, it was like he was already hearing about it, and then you approached him.
Yeah, I think
at the same time.
Honestly, I think that's how it happened. Yeah, it wasn't crazy. Like I'm telling you, like sometimes you just put yourself. Cause I was like, I don't know, like I'm gonna just go. Like I pulled up by myself, got up on the bus. I ended up getting a hotel on the beach. Cause I love the beach, so I'm like, let me go get a hotel on the beach, and then I go to Rolling Loud and I hang out, at the beach. So, then I when I came back in Savi and Jovens, they were like in conversation, and I was bringing up the same. So it turned out we were all going to the same opportunity. So we were like, all right, perfect, let's go ahead and head out there. So I tell the guys, I'm like, yo, I kind of Ubered over here or whatever, and then I guess Jovens was driving, so he's like, bro, like just hop in with me. We'll go to the thing. And I was like, well, I got to tell you, because there was like, we don't know where we going to crash at. So I'm like, bro, I got to tell you. If you got the whip, I got to tell you. Yo, hey. That's how it works, bro. Like, honestly. And so they was like, yeah, hop in with us. So showing up, we hopped in, and we end up, me and ASAP, and he comes in, and he wants us like all dressed in white, just really turning up and mobbing to his set.
Yeah.
And we ended up having some dope connections, meeting a lot of people. And actually, while I was turning up for his set, I ended up next to Tarek, who's the owner of Rolling Loud. Like I ended up like turning up like with him in that, because he's literally right there where we were. And I just say what's up to him, and then so it was cool that I ran into him last week and was like, yeah, bro, like, appreciate what you're
at the BT.
Yeah, I ran into him going into an after party.
Oh, that's
that
fire.
I couldn't get into.
And because they started in Orlando, bro. I remember going to
Word.
It's called the Vanguard now.
Yeah,
but
it was called 57 something. No, it was called Venue
578.
578.
They used to be there, and it was Dope ENT.
Dope ENT, yeah.
Are they still, or it's the
I don't think so.
It's Rolling Loud is the brand.
Right, I think Rolling Loud is the brand now. It's Tarek and Matt, I believe. And
they were throwing shows there, and still like they were bringing people out.
For sure.
I met Big Sean there.
Yeah, for sure. They brought Big Sean out. I remember they brought Big Crit. I think it was like Big Crit Currency maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Post Malone earlier. But that was Bad Booth though. That was like Bad Booth days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still a little bit more like underground, but it was a little bit bigger of a venue.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's fire, man.
Yeah, bro. That's pretty crazy, dog.
That's
pretty
wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
Man.
That was a good time.
What a journey, bro. Who knows where it's gonna take us next?
What? Boy, we could go 5 hours.
Yeah, facts. But man, I really want to get you on here, bro. Like I said, long overdue, and I think like I said, I think we talked on the phone. The last three episodes, I had your names come up.
Yeah, so
whether it was the ASAP situation, somebody gave you a shout out, and then the episode with Truth that just came out. He had the glasses.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, yeah, those some fire glasses, bro. He said, shout out my dog. So
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, man. So I think
Oh, by the way,
three signs in a row is divine.
This for you, my dog.
Hey, let's go.
Make sure I gotta get my dog right.
Yeah, I got the hat for you too, bro.
Okay.
The Stoli Productions hat,
That's what's up. We gonna do the exchange.
Okay, let's do it.
Throw those on real quick. Let's see what's up. Throw those on. Let's see what it is, man. I got the Stoli joint.
Yeah, you might need to fill it out. I don't know. Yeah, man. Oh, these are nice.
That's how you do it, bro. That's how we do it. It's a cross marketing kind of game.
Three blind mice action. That's what I'm looking like. Hey, that's cool, man. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna take these off for a minute, but
For sure, man.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, bro. I got you. Appreciate you having me on, man.
shoot.
And
Yeah, bro. I've been so I came to Orlando in 2014.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Word.
so I'm from Vermont,
Oh,
up
what?
north. Yeah,
Damn, I've
So,
been there.
Where beautiful. Bro.
Yeah, it's nice.
Where you go?
My cousin's stepdad had this cabin in the woods, and we
Yeah.
would go on Christmas and stuff like that. And it was
Dope.
really nice, bro. Yeah, it's like the hidden house.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That's what's up, dog. So you've been here since 14.
Yeah, bro. So I really, I mean, I got into engineering, background, audio, and all that, and
Yeah.
so have seen your progression, bro, through all the years. And I think at the time we might even been in a couple studio sessions or something before.
Probably.
With I used to do sessions a lot with like I don't know if you know Rhino and Africa.
Africa
I
Black.
mean, Africa, he's
Definitely big up to Africa Black, man. That's my guy.
Big name in the city. But,
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
Yeah, it started with them and then just progressed, bro. Poppy 3 times.
Of course, yeah. It's my
You
dog,
know?
man. We was working
So-
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro. We've been everybody still, life happens and people got married or kids or this and that, family, but everybody's still chasing the dream, bro.
I love to see your progression
On the
too, bro.
goals. Hey.
And this spot is really nice, bro. I like
Yes,
when I
sir.
see my dogs get into it, and consistency is the hardest part, but
Yeah.
just stick with it, bro, and it's all going to continue to elevate.
Yeah, much love. We're here at Iconic Vision Studios, so if you hear some music in the background, some sub, I apologize.
That's that boy Dope Truth cooking up. Shout out to him.
There is another session going on. Some people walking around in the hallways, but yeah, man, I started this in 2022 at JICA. I was going to JICA.
Wow,
and
yeah.
it was just
I used to see you at JICA too.
it
Yeah.
was just sort of the Vlad TV
yeah.
style.
What happened to JICA?
I think they shut down.
They shut down, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I was going there, man, and I did like 10 episodes there, and I was coming out of pocket and just the coordination, paying people, and like it was really too much for me at the time. I
Yeah.
had something, but like going back to the timing, God,
Yeah.
it was like, yo, not yet, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
and then so I took all 2023 off. I
Yeah.
said, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And
Yeah.
then by the end of the year, bro, people was asking me like, yo, when you gonna bring the podcast back? Yo,
Yeah.
da, da, da.
Yeah.
And so I also stopped because I didn't have like the branding, the production, the look. And so when people started asking me, I invested into the sign. I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta do it right. Gotta at least get
Yeah,
get
bro.
something,
it's
bro.
Pretty fire, bro.
So
It's pretty
design the logo myself. I mean, nothing crazy, but
fire. Nice.
the conversation, thought bubble.
Yeah.
And then invested into the sign, invested into the equipment, into myself, into the space, into others.
Yeah. Major key.
Into
Major key,
others,
bro.
giving other people's opportunity, some production assistance, things like that. But yeah, bro, surely. And then to your point, if I don't do nothing, I just tell myself, yo, bro, just keep going. Do an episode. Doesn't matter when it is, just be consistent.
Shoot that shot.
I
every
got a
day, bro.
timeline, and I'm like, hey,
Yes.
bro, just stay in this window. Stay consistent, bro.
Keep going, bro. You gotta put 10,000 shots up.
Hey,
And-
we only in 28, so.
And that's the
28.
thing, bro. It's like it don't matter. Like what I learned is that really helped me was detaching myself more and more from the result.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because the more attached you are to the result, the more you get caught in the fact that, damn, did this last clip do good? Did it get the same numbers? Did it get the numbers that I was expecting?
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, okay, once I put my shot up, bro, I'm trying to figure out what's my next shot.
Yeah, forget about it. It's
Just let it
it's
be.
gonna live out there forever.
It's
so.
the uncontrollable factors. Like when we were in science class, like the variable you can't control.
Right.
That's how people respond. So
Yeah.
and now like, hey, with this new content wave I'm about to drop, bro, like if y'all get annoyed, and follow me, whatever, like it's cool because I just like I'm about to just go.
You about to go
I'm about
crazy
to
is what it
drive
sound
on
like.
everything. Yeah, like people might unfollow you, but they gonna come back and be like, "Damn, I wonder how he doing." So, like let's keep it going, bro. Let's keep the vibes going, man. New music out now. The
Let's
brand, you
go.
feel me? Everything. So
Yeah, you got a website, right?
yeah, bro. Yeah, my website is creativeuniverse.com without the E at the end of creative. My companies are Creative Universe, which is my brand. Creative Blueprints, which is my company that we help people start their logos, start their brands.
Dope.
And I'm in collaboration with Mocha Ave, which is my business partner's brand. And she does email marketing. She does creative direction with me. And we also print clothing. We have all the machines for DTF printing, screen printing, vinyl printing, embroidery.
Oh, far.
So that's my company that we've been helping others bring their visions to life.
Dope.
And I got the song So Sophisticated. It's a 2-pack EP, So Sophisticated, Not Material, with my brother DJ Kivs. I have Spiritual War 2, Love Is My Favorite Drug, the sequel to my Spiritual War series. And I have this track called Aesthetic Angelic with my boy Dizzle Funk, who we're on tour right now. And we're going to Ohio. We're going to his hometown, Dayton, Ohio. So we're going to do Dayton, Cincinnati. We were already done Atlanta. We were already done Ocala. We did a show here in Orlando. We do a show once a month at the Grape and the Grain, which is on Mills. And it's a nice community vibe where everybody gets to build with one another. So that's the events. That's the new music that's out. Y'all know the website. And if y'all need anything, get at me. You feel me?
Hey, yes, sir.
Get
We're
at your
going to put
boy.
all that in the description for sure. I'd be honoring people with that. Give them their moment.
Shout out Stoli.
For sure.
Stolen
The
Conversations,
Instagram,
baby.
all that. It's going to be,
Big
it's
facts.
going to be there. Man, anything else you wish we talked about, bro, or touched on, really?
Man,
I guess,
feel like
we didn't really touch on the music in a sense, but I know, you talked about entrepreneurship, and I think, like when you talked about what resonates with people, I look at you as like that entrepreneur,
Thank you,
so
man.
that's what resonates with me and, what I wanted to talk about. But is there anything that you...
I mean, I appreciate that because honestly, that it's biblical to be entrepreneur because God wrote in the scripture, like, diversify your income.
Yeah.
Because if anything comes upon the land, like whatever drought comes upon the land, then you'll be able to survive off of something. So I think entrepreneurship is spiritual, and the music was more ego-centered before about my life and what I've been through, but now it's become more of like the grace that God has had in my life for me. Versus now you're hearing my previous music, you will hear everything I was going through, all the things that I experienced and what was I experiencing in that moment. But now it's more like, how far has God brought me?
Yeah.
How has he transformed me? Who have I become and how am I serving other people? So now my music is really centered around giving thanks to God and showing people that I'm an authentic human being that still falls short. But God has had so much grace in my life because my heart has been to his direction that through whatever trial and tribulation he puts me through, I'm still straight because I know that it's meant to build my character. Just like Daniel in the lion's den, you feel me? It's like these people had to go through these tests of faith.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, a test of faith, because God is going to be like, God is going to let you have free will. And that's the thing that drives us to destruction sometimes. Because just because we can do it don't mean we should.
Yeah, and people think his grace is his grace, his grace.
Right.
But it's like once you know. What
now
do
you
they
have
say?
a responsibility.
You know better, you'll do better.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't give you the excuse, even though his grace is...
People think the Christ-like life.
Grace is going to last... grace isn't going to last for too long.
I mean, the thing is, like, we feel like... No, I think, like, it's about understanding that you don't have to be perfect to come to Christ.
Yeah.
and you won't be
Nobody is
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, and you won't even be perfect as following Christ. It
Yeah.
actually gets hard. And if you're dealing with like spiritual things, like once you give your life to Christ and once you want to follow that every day, it's going to be even harder
Yeah.
because then the enemy is going to test you and it's going to tempt you into doing the things that you know are not good for your spirit, but they
Yeah.
feel good temporarily for the flesh.
Yeah, he's gonna convict you.
And then he's going to convict you, and then you're going to start sinning less and less, and you might still fall short every once in a while, but God is like, don't worry, like the price has already been paid and forgiven. But it doesn't mean abuse to grace because God
Right.
sees everything.
Right.
So it's like if you were lying to your parent, but you knew that your parent was actually seeing what you were doing, and then you look at them in the face like, nah, like I didn't.
That's
I'm not
disrespectful.
doing that. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
that's how we look at God sometimes. He's a father figure, but we be lying to ourselves, and God is like, come on, bro, get right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had just man, I just made a post today. I made a thread, but I posted on my story. Cause I quit smoking, bro, quit drinking, no more like, pornography, masturbation, no none of that. And all those like fleshly desires, God convicted me slowly over time. But now that I'm like those quote unquote easy things
Yeah.
is like I realize how sinful my heart is, bro. Like the pride, the comparison, the starting to watch my tongue, like
Yeah.
even just what I say or say about people, maybe not even in a negative sense, but like that's still gossip if they're not in the room. I've been convicted about like, yo, why, even if it's not like all, negative, it's just like, yo, why I don't need to be talking like this. So it's crazy, bro. You start to, that character development and the renewal of the mind and the heart and powerful stuff, man.
They say the heart is like some people say follow your heart, but the scripture really says like
guard your heart.
Guard your heart.
For everything flows from it.
From your heart, yeah. And
it's deceitful.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. So I
gotta follow Christ.
I love that you said that, bro. Like cleaning the vessel is super important. And I have, sometimes I struggle with that because I still like smoking. You feel me? But I realize it's a step-by-step process. I never been much of a drinker, but I love that you stop smoking, you stop drinking, and you stop like, because masturbation and porn too, that was another thing. Like, it just, we're like sold lust and we're this shit's put in our faces. Men, this is one thing that a lot of people don't understand. We go through this spiritual battle with the flesh and the lust because since a kid, we've always been seeing all these things that program our mind,
movies
and music and hip hop and stuff like that.
Now
the
it's
rap,
like social media is just like, man, you can't even.
You look at one picture, what the algorithm go.
It's gonna grab you, bro. Facts.
You see one beautiful woman, bro. The next week,
it's
like,
all
you get,
I gotta
bro.
delete this app for a week. That's crazy.
Sorry to my stripper friends, I have to unfollow, man. I still love y'all, bro.
Tell me about it, bro. I got so much. Man, when I was going through my last year, those transformations, bro. I unfortunately had to do the same, bro. Some ladies out there, I was just like, yo, bro, no disrespect, but just what you posting.
Yeah.
You beautiful. I can't be looking at you like that.
Once you committed in your mind, it's in your heart, bro. It's
word.
Like, that's the thing. Yeah. That's how the enemy moves, though. It's like
protect those eye gates. And
yeah, bro. Seriously, like people think Satan gonna pop out with the horn and with the red fib, but he really is an angel that like jumps into different bodies. So you might find a beautiful woman and you're like, oh, damn, like that. You see the darkness operating in that because it's so lustful and it's so fleshly and that's I've had great relationships and I've had other relationships that were great, but the foundation of it was lust, bro.
Yeah, I got a crazy story for that I could tell you offline, but been there, bro, done that. Yeah, it's wild. And once you start having that, the veil is lifted, it's like you really start to just see like it's all spiritual, bro. It really is.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Any shout outs, bro, or final thoughts? I got one more thing for you after, but
Yeah, for sure.
anybody you want to shout out, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, man. I think we did it earlier with like
With
I
the-
plugged
all the
my brand and
websites
the
and everything,
websites and
yeah.
everybody. Shout out to really everybody in Orlando that has just contributed to my success, to my career, the people that, you know, speak about me, you feel me? Like shout out to Savi and you know, Truth and everybody that has come up here and mentioned my name, and I appreciate that, you feel me? Cuz we show each other the flowers while we're here, and I've seen that I've been, you know, influential in the city. And shout out to Fusion, you know, they've awarded me, you know, 3 or 4 times for like most influential, best male hip hop artist. And you know, we really need to bring the Fusion, continue the Fusion Awards, and show love and respect to it, because it feels good to be recognized, you know, for what you do. But at the same time, it's like we don't let that be the pride of who we are. We have to do it as a way of serving, you know, and whatever way I could keep serving anybody, like if y'all want to learn how to register your music or whatever the case may be, or how to make money from your music, I've been doing my best to share that information. And if you guys have something you want to build with me and it makes sense, let's build it. You feel me? If you rock with me, call me. But shout out to everybody in the city. Shout out to my boy Wise Baby for an amazing BET Awards week. Shout out everybody who I met. Shout out my team. And I love y'all, man. I appreciate your shout out, Stoli, man. Stoli Conversations.
Fire. Yeah.
You know how we do, brother.
Yes, sir.
What time?
Real quick, before
Yeah.
we get out of here, I
For
got
sure.
speed round. 3 things. It's a
do it.
word. You respond. First thing off the top.
Okay.
Creation.
God.
The 7.
Ooh, God's number.
Ooh, hey.
Completion.
The alignment is crazy.
Yeah.
Family.
Priority. First.
Okay.
Calm. Did you say it's one word?
Yeah, that's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. It's just calmness, joy, love, and honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Those are good.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro. I like your tooth gems, dog.
Hey, you just noticed that?
That shit's hard, bro. Just hitting in the light, man.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out Sai if y'all need any teeth whitening or them gems. You know, I had to zoom in on there. Anyway.
Big facts, man.
Appreciate you again, bro.
Yeah, brother, for sure, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
Make sure y'all hit the links in the description. You know how we do. Like, subscribe, comment if you haven't already. And go ahead and share this with your auntie, uncle, nephew, cousins, brothers. You know how we get down. It's another stolen conversation.
Yes, sir.
Bow, bow, bow.
Lego.